All right, it's time for us to do our monthly report read through. This is going to be a little capsule. Trying to do a little bit different before. So this is going a pre-recorded section of, not pre-recorded, it's recorded as part of my live stream that we do on Thursdays. But we're going to be looking at the PU monthly report for June 2024. And yeah, generally, if you like these sort of content, this is just like kind of a small segment rather than the big whole video, the whole live stream that I've done. Make sure you check us out on Thursdays at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub and youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive. We'd love to see you come on up here. All right. With that all being said, let's look at the PU monthly report for June 2024. All right. Oop, hit the wrong button. All right. AI features. June saw AI features improving the behaviors of grouped NPCs for a more consistent combat experience. To do this, they added an object representing the group that shares perception information about targets at the appropriate time. This allows for the designers to tailor combat experiences to a specific demands of the mission by deciding who is and who isn't drawn into combat when it starts. It also allows them to cheat a behavior for situations where communication between group members would be expected. For example, via radio, preventing NPCs from doing via radio, preventing NPCs from doing a full first reaction when they would already know about this fight. This is the first implementation of the system, and the team will be playtesting and balancing it to make sure it presents a realistic but understandable challenge. Without the behavior, perception and entering combat would be more haphazard and do not work well across the wide range of levels and mission scenarios. For this, I wouldn't be surprised if this is also a Squadron 42 monthly report section, so this may be a combo of both of them. That's a new title. AI Game Intelligence Development Tools. Okay. June saw the creation of a new team within the AI group, Game Intelligence Development Tools, GIDT. Git. The Git crew. One of the team's objectives is to focus on evaluating and improving tools and processes. For example, they're currently working with AI tech to improve the Apollo subsumption editor with improved UX. Following a successful prototype, the team are currently implementing some of the features directly in Engine. This new visualized paradigm, known as the Apollo Star Script. Oh my God. Jared is probably rubbing his temples furiously right now. Star Script. Star everything. Other improvements include new tool that enables the devs to group and ungroup task functions automatically, allowing them to easily add components and visualize them when collapsed or expanded. Another upcoming objective is to implement different service solutions for long-term AI functionalities, including the quantum simulation, the battle system, and commentator model. Dang gits. AI tech. June saw AI tech optimizing parts of the vision system used by NPCs, which involved moving parts of NPC's visibility check computation to the client. This will help when there are multiple players in the same server, giving improvements to reaction time and frame rate. They're also investigating better ways to synchronize AI between servers and clients in preparation for server meshing, which will allow for smoother transitions by keeping the same context when NPCs move from one server to another. As a test, they serialized more data into AI components, like path and movement requests. On the ship AI side, functionality was added to point defense cannons that allow them to track and shoot missiles. Improvements were also made to NPCs following leaders in formation by using PID controller for match leader speed and adjusting role based on leader and NPC ship orientation. Alongside this, the AI tools team began unifying functionality and fixed bugs in preparation for the Apollo UI redesign. For those of you who don't know about the Apollo UI is what CIG does internally for their AI tools. It's an internal tool to help them with subsumption. like how they make subsumption AI and such. So it's sort of like a tool for CIG, not for us. It doesn't actually impact the game as much as it impacts development of the game. Animation. The animation team continued to fix technical issues with the Copian, animate assets, and create new animations for numerous creatures. Numerous creatures. Ooh. Art characters. In June, the character art team progressed with 3 specialist armors, finalized the update to utility armor, and supported a request for the character customizer. Art det for looting items was worked on too. Character concept art team continued exploring designs for utility armors, and completed handoff sheets for specialist armors, while the hair team kicked off new beards and hairstyles. Art ships. Last month, the ship's team progressed with the RSI Polaris, getting close to finalizing the interior for gray box review. The exterior is heading towards final content, with the parallax occlusion mapping, POM, and lighting being completed. The Zeus Mark II is also approaching its final content review. 7 unannounced vehicles were worked on too. 4 are approaching white box stage review, which are probably 4.0 and beyond vehicles. 2 are heading towards gray box review, and the last is nearly completed. Almost certainly that last one is likely going to be the new Saber variant that they've been teasing. That's just probably coming out in 3.24. But everything else, gray box review, would be 2 ships for 4.0, and then the white boxes post 4.0. Like 4.1 or around Invictus, that kind of thing. Maybe still 4.0, but... Community team kicked off the month of May's PU May's PU monthly report alongside Drake Ironclad Q&A. The team then supported Alien Week, which was followed by the return of Xenothreat. A new player guide was published alongside 2 contests: Show Us Your Colors and Super Galactic Xenothreat Smackdown. Winners of the Show Us Your Colors competition 2024. Yes. The community is currently preparing for Alpha 3.24 release, as well as an upcoming Foundation Festival and Ship Showdown events. The Bar Citizen World Tour continued, with team members visiting local events to meet with the community and share a new loot, including the new Huya puzzle. Hey, you can see I am over here somewhere, I think. It was in the back. It's a bad angle. The team also spent time with a vibrant community in Asia, where we recently had the pleasure of attending 2 unforgettable events. First, our team traveled to Taipei for an incredibly immersive Bar Citizen. The decor was awesome. There, we were treated to a handful of excellent presentations, including a live demonstration and tutorial by morphologists, racing tournaments that had all of us on the edge of our seats and screaming at the top of our lungs, and even some lively sing-alongs of pirate shanties courtesy of Drake Interplanetary. Then, last Saturday, we had the privilege of connecting our community to Shenzhen, China, at their largest gathering yet, over 2,000 attendees. We participated in a lively Q&A session, enjoyed a variety of tournaments, giveaways, cosplays, and much more. Events like these, especially on the opposite side of the globe, serve as a powerful reminder that the diversity and global reach of our community. What's most inspiring is that our shared passion for the universe we are building transcends all language and cultural barriers. Whether you're from Shenzhen, France, Antarctica, you never know, or anywhere else on the planet, a Bar Citizen event always feels like a home among like-minded pilots. We're kicking off another year of Bar Citizen events around the globe. As always, you all show up in spades. It is wonderful meeting each one of you, hosting trivia challenges, enjoying good drinks, and great company. We can't wait to see you again in upcoming events during PAX, TwitchCon, Gamescom, and more. So if you're nearby, come on down and get your hands on exclusive Huya. We also like to say thank you for everyone supporting the development of Star Citizen and our recent updates, tech preview, and other PTU tests. We are committed to delivering world-class game for world-class community, and your feedback is instrumentally important to us. Community team. That is very large. Like the Chris Roberts head over here. The community team continued dealing with weekly publishers of This Week in Star Citizen and updated Arena Commander schedule. With CitizenCon 2954 less than 4 months away, the team is working hard to deliver the most packed and exciting event to date. The CitizenCon cosplay contest is also back, with the team planning to share more details closer to the event. Core gameplay. For Maelstrom, okay, big one. Maelstrom, the development stream was recently published to the main internal branch. This provides a fresh set of features, such as new unified mesh format grid with OC support per Maelstrom node for large vehicle destruction. It also provides tools to link gameplay events with destruction sequences, such as shatter, break, and integrity changes. The unified mesh format brings numerous improvements to Vulkan pipeline and internal code coverage alongside a flexible pipeline to bake supplementary data required for Maelstrom destruction. The ability to link internal Maelstrom sequences to game logic advances the dev's ability to easily build complex destruction sequences. Further development will bring Maelstrom destruction entities past the existing legacy destruction and harden the existing pipeline. That's basically what they're saying, is that Maelstrom is being brought up to current standards of destruction. So they're swapping over all of the current destruction, or the setting up the current ship's destruction modes to Maelstrom rather than the old system they have. Was recently published to the main internal branch. I don't know if that means they're done. They could mean that they're done. They may be done, like it's already in, but now it's just more about finding the edge cases and other kind of stuff like that. You must speak in Texan. Okay. All right, Evan. Following the full task breakdown, implementation of the Transit Refactor began. This included setting up basic components for the entity classes for destinations, gateways, and gateway peripherals. A new debug GUI transportation network visualizer was created to assist the initial setup to inform design and setups of each transport network. The transit engineers also continue to support the upcoming Alpha 3.24 release. Subtle, but you know. Maelstrom sooner than we thought, I hope. I think it's still a ways away, but you know, the Transit Refactor, the one thing that's important is basically with the Transit Refactor, they need to make it so that it works for 4.0, because it currently doesn't work very well. Ooh, this is another big one. Radar and so we've got Maelstrom is in game and are in the main branch. And radar and scanning are working. For radar and scanning, work was completed to allow FPS ping to be used in certain seats. The first being vehicles that lack their own radar. Alongside this, the team resolved several issues when using an FPS radar within a vehicle zone to detect things outside. Work continued to highlight the highlight effect which caused by FPS ping, with the devs now able to apply different colors for different factors, such as hostility. Several other parameters were added to highlight the effect to allow the fine-tuning of visuals, including fade, timeout, occlusions, fill, and outline. Radar and scanning. So, like, FPS ping is in. Okay. Y'all can still hear me, right? No, I was just saying that they can't hear me. Hopefully you can. I'm going to keep going. Support began for new vehicle brackets, including nameplate and distance, and parameters were added to control. So support began for new vehicle brackets, including nameplate and distance, and parameters were added to control when and how they should show in different states, such as targeted and pinned. The removal of scanner operator mode started too, which will be replaced with ADS scanning. ADS scanning, that's new. Okay. That's the new system. So that's the new scanning system, which I'm assuming is going to be linked with radar and like FPS ping. I think they're going to be the same idea. But that's new. That's the first time I've heard of ADS scanning. This is why you read the monthly reports, because this is we'll probably hear about ADS scanning in the next month. where CIG will start talking about what this is, because this is clearly the thing that are doing post 4.0. It may make 4.0, but that's another discussion. I don't think a lot of the stuff that's currently in the 4.0 release is going to make it in 4.0. It's going to make it in 4.0.1, or they'll just do what they did with 3.24 and just call it 4.1. The team submitted the framework for a system that will allow design to begin tagging which scan producers' specific radars run. For example, medical scanners may see health information, while police scanners can detect contraband. An improvement was made to the radar system, allowing for faster scan speeds while maintaining performance. Support continued for radar with the room query system that allows for occlusion of people behind locked doors. Finally, for radar and scanning, a new mechanic was implemented, delta signatures. This mechanic has vehicles emit signatures when certain actions are performed, such as a ping activation, the activation of quantum boost, and the changing of master modes. UI to notify players when they detect a delta signature was implemented too. Okay. I don't think ADS stands for aim down sight scanning. I don't think that's what it means. No, because okay, for those of you who are saying this is FPS scanning, it says specifically the removal of scan operator mode started too, which will be replaced with ADS scanning. So what that means is that they're removing scanner operator mode, which is currently in ships, and they're replacing it with ADS scanning. And before anyone says, oh, well, that's just a fancy word for FPS scanning, they say FPS ping in the one above. So this is specifically ship scanning. It's not, we don't know what ADS is, but it doesn't stand for aim down sight. Another damn scan, advanced dynamic scanning. It has some name, probably advanced dynamic scanning or something like that. All the scanning. At last, the scans. So it sounds like they're doing a little bit more work. It also sounds like it's stuff that's already being done for Squadron. Some of this stuff is already being implemented for Squadron, and they're bringing it over because they mentioned things like quantum boost and changing of master modes. We don't have quantum boost in game yet, so. The Arena Commander team focused on the new front-end style, the FPS Horde mode, and back-end support. The implementation of the front-end restyle is nearly complete, with the majority now utilizing the new style and art direction. Several features requests were sent to service teams after review, including a way to query game module and mode population, and additional information for friends lists, such as the game mode and map. So they're completely overhauling the UI again for Arena Commander? For the FPS Horde mode, the team implemented the subsumption mission alongside a way to define spawn wave data. Design will soon begin reviewing the map and marking it up for AI ahead of the spawn closet, engineers becoming available post Alpha 3.24. A playtest was conducted on EVA-only map, Gundo. Due to limitations with the location causing balance concerns, this map will not be released and will instead be used for rapid in-situ developer iteration of the EVA system. Finally, the team began improving how badges are defined in game code. This is due to limitations of systems as more teams utilize it. Improvements include giving designers more control over badges and their information by moving what was previously hard-coded to DataForge, as well as adding several quality of life improvement for developers. Badges, what is that? Economy. The economy team progressed with tasks for Pyro, including setting up the shops and sorting out any related issues. They also continued implementing the effort versus reward algorithm so that the mission rewards are balanced according to the risk and time invested by the player. Support was provided for the coming changes to cargo and cargo missions too. As mentioned in last month's report, the team worked to rebalance prices for the entire sets of items, including vehicle components, power plants, coolers, shields, quantum drives, weapons, etc., FPS weapon attachments, ammunition, consumables, and commodities. We did on a couple weeks ago, we looked at the idea that a torpedo burrito, is more expensive than a 30-round mag of P4 ammo. And it shouldn't be like that. So we did real-life comparisons of a Taco Bell burrito and generic, 30-round, AR-15, magazine and the ammo it would be cost to put in there. And yeah, the magazine and the ammo for the AR-15 costs more money than even at even the priciest burrito from Taco Bell. And I think it was even more expensive than a Chipotle burrito. So, that gives you the concept of like, generally speaking, you're going to have cheaper food than you are going to have other things because everyone needs food, but not everyone in the Star Citizen universe is going to need guns, even though players are. So you want to have that kind of balanced properly. So it looks like that's what they're doing, which is nice. The team's ongoing work involves a new economy for quantum and hydrogen fuel to ensure that refilling isn't a chore while maintaining the narrative feel of a large universe with unique economies spread across different star systems. They're also creating player profiles to better understand how different careers gain and use resources. Okay. Badges like the 2943 Aggressor Badge. That's what I was thinking, was maybe like the badges you get for specific actions, like the little achievement stuff. I don't think you can add them in Arena Commander now. It sounded like that's something that just, they already do that, but maybe they don't. That would be neat, so that instead of getting a forum badge, you get a badge on your account for Arena Commander. But I'm also a proponent of having Arena Commander be free to play. So graphics, VFX programming, and planet tech. Last month, the stability, performance, and memory usage of Vulkan continued to improve and is now much closer to being the default choice for Star Citizen. The team have also been in contact with AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel to diagnose and fix various driver issues. The Global Illumination team worked across a variety of areas. For example, they improved Radiant's cache resolution, made stability improvements, and optimized various areas with Fidelity FX. They also provided rough specular support, improved motion and depth complexity handling for the screen space light cache, and updated the cascade light grid to allow for a greater range of global illumination. Gas cloud color processing volumes were added to allow the artists to vary the appearance of large gas clouds as players traverse them. The team also made the first pass at hooking up required VFX to jump points alongside a new shader for the tunnel and bespoke lighting and shadowing solution for ships inside it. Support for fire hazards continued, which involved adding directionality to the generalized burn and dirt shader effects for entities. This allows for localized burning, such as one on one side of a door. Visual improvements were also added to creatures, such as the ability to spawn decals from GPU particles. A new managed entity region system was designed and entered development. The goal of this is to manage a life form of many procedurally spawned entities, such as creatures and mineable rocks. This is critical to the introduction of persistent entities, server recovery, and server meshing, as these systems require very strict and careful management of entity lifetimes. GPU terrain generation was implemented as a stepping stone for the team's plans to fully GPU generate virtualized terrain, which will be utilized with Planetech V5. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think that means that they're trying to go towards terrain deformation. That seems what that sounds like, because it says GPU terrain generation was implemented as a stepping stone to the team's plan to fully GPU generated visualized terrain. They're moving stuff off of the processor, the CPU, and putting it into a GPU is, I'm guessing, for performance purposes, and maybe for it to look good. But that feels like something they do for like more terrain deformation. But I could be wrong on that one. I'm not an expert on that. That's just more of a gut feeling, having reread a lot of this stuff. Finally, an efficient query mechanism is being designed and added to planets. This will be used by the new location scatter tool, which will help populate planets for Star Citizen 1.0. Hey, a 1.0 reference. In-game branding. The in-game branding team made significant progress across various projects throughout June, including new navigational signage for Pyro and graffiti for Ruin Station. They also started work on a new location alongside the landing zone team. What? They also started work on a new location alongside the landing zone team. What new location? A new landing zone? It can't be Ruin Station, because Ruin Station should have already been in. Or it's just going to be one of the stations that we have already in Pyro, but just named Ruin Station. What new location would they be building? For those of you who may not get this, like, Nyx is likely going to be the next one, but Nyx's landing zone already exists. It's called Levski on Delamar. It's been in game before, but they removed it because of the expansion of Stanton. That's the first mention, even close to, of a whole new star system. Unless it's reference to Ruin, which it could be, because Seiji hasn't mentioned Ruin explicitly in the past. So, Interactables. June saw Interactables team finishing off liquid containers, which will be used for the upcoming Blockade Runner missions. Hazardous containers were worked on too, with the team taking all sizes to final following the destructibility tests. Pretty nice. Lighting. The lighting team focused on work for Alpha 4.0, including tasks for the new acidic cave archetype, pyro station modules, and outpost locations. They're currently dialing in the atmosphere for all of Pyro's planets and moons to give each a unique look and feel. Locations. The landing zone team spent part of the month fixing bugs for cargo alongside adding a variety of modules available for Pyro's stations. Alongside this, the organics team progressed with asset creation for new biomes that will go on new planets in the future. They also closed out acidic cave archetypes. The landing zone team isn't talking about anything about a new place, but the in-game branding is, which is weird. Narrative. One of the narratives team's bigger focuses in June was their continued support of the upcoming cargo gameplay, which included writing new mission text. The team also dedicated time towards Star Citizen 1.0, diving deeper into new content that the patch will bring. Part of this will fall into the narrative design, who further expanded their presence of social AI in the universe. Additionally, narrative began building out the lore and mission text for a future large-scale event mission. They also provided the branding team with several company bios that will be used to flesh out the style guides. This month also saw another edition of Loremakers Community Questions go live. So be sure to check it out and then add your own question to the narrative team Ask a Dev Spectrum page for a chance to have your questions answered next time. Narrative team. The team also published a fresh batch of Galactopedia entries alongside the story of Banu divestment in honor of Alien Week, which I believe is about the fall of a Suli. Online technology. In June, the online services team worked towards completing the social services backend overhaul. This will boost the performance and scalability of social functions, including chat, friends, and groups, and will enable the service to support a higher volume of concurrent users and requests. Additionally, it will simplify the integration of new features. For example, making things like creating and joining a party from within Spectrum web portal possible. That may sound weird, but CIG wants to have Spectrum be connected to the game in all ways, so that you will be able to access Spectrum even from inside the game. So, like, the way we currently have chat is going to be removed and replaced with Spectrum chat. You can access your org's Spectrum, unique Spectrum like forums through your through the game, and of course on the website, anything you do on Spectrum will be seen in game as well. So you can even do things like add friends and like send out a friend request or that would be accepted, but also like have them join your party, so someone can join your party while in Spectrum, but not in game. They even want to run, I think they run the VoIP through Spectrum as well. So like everything is supposed to be through Spectrum because it's the in-game version of the internet. I mean, and most of it in-game web browsers. Yeah, but CIG wants to make it an in-game, in-fiction web service. Apps to do ship loadout, etc. from in-game too, if I remember correctly. I think it was something they talked about possibly doing, but we know for sure that they wanted to do a lot of the social functions to be both through Spectrum and through the game, but have them be connected together specifically. The team also integrated a new version of Easy Anti-Cheat and will soon begin testing for false positives, as well as testing the boot check feature on a limited sample size. Furthermore, the team progressed with potential features for Alpha 4.0. This included significant overhauls to the mission and marker systems, as well as the development of the player trade functionality, which will align with the overarching objective of achieving server meshing. We're going to get player trading, baby. I guess 4.0, at least the underlining stuff is going to be coming in there. Woohoo. Spectrum is the internet in lore, right, AstroPub? Yes, it is. It is kind of a combination of cable and the internet. Like there are broadcasts which are done through Spectrum on specific channels, but then there's also like internet access. It's not really fleshed out well enough in terms of directly. It's sort of in fiction. It's sort of the internet and live cable television all wrapped up in one. The network team continued to work towards the first version of server meshing. This included testing various configurations for the mesh and underlying cloud infrastructure, while capturing critical performance information to help fine-tune and target bottlenecks. I'm surprised they haven't done any more configuration testing. I'd expected them to do a little bit more, because they did a configuration testing like right before I left for my vacation last week. Like in June. I think I think we'll still see a couple more, but it may be that CIG has decided that the last configuration was what they're going to use, but who knows? Tech art animation. The technical animation team continued to invest in a wide range of long-term tasks, facilitating improvements across both projects. For example, the work progressed on Put On Take Off initiative, which is close to completion. These animations will soon be integrated into the game and will significantly enhance the realism of character interactions and provide a more engaging player experience. So that's where like they're going to have some canned animations or some versions of canned animations where if you're taking off something, your character's going to go and pull it off, or like to put it back on, you know, do my Chris Roberts impression. So for Star Citizen and Squadron. So, these animations will soon be integrated into the game and will significantly enhance the realism of character interactions and provide a more engaging player experience. Several creatures for Alpha 4.0 were finalized too. We know we're getting the Kazi Grazer, the space cow, but it sounds like we're getting multiples, which is nice. Please, blind Oni crab. Please, blind Oni crab. Daddy wants the blind Oni crab. Daddy wants his poopy Zeppelins, his poopy Hindenburgs, his tiny poopy Hindenburgs. Enhancements were also made for character customizer, including the successful integration of new heads. This enhancement will offer players more variety and customization options, further enriching personalization. Our ongoing collaboration with SST and cinematics departments remains strong. The focus on ensuring the technical implementation of animations and scene content is of the highest quality is unwavering. This synergy is crucial in maintaining the seamless integration of animations and ensuring a top-tier visual experience for our audience. The enhancements of the technical animation team in this past month are a testament to their hard work and dedication. As we move forward, we're confident that we'll continue to reach new heights and deliver exceptional content for our players. Tech animation team. And lastly, VFX. Last month, VFX team supported teams on deliverables planned for Alpha 3.24 and 4.0, including the Zeus Mark II. VFX also supported locations on new biome archetypes, including acidic caves, alongside new modules for Pyro. Finally, VFX progressed with tasks for several upcoming features, such as fire hazards and the resource network and Pyro. All right, so in summary, a lot of work is on Pyro. Zeus and Polaris are clipping along. They're going in there. There's a lot of interesting stuff mentioned here that we haven't seen in the past, like player trade system, which is being put in there. The hint of a new landing zone. Branding is working with the landing zone team on a new location, which implies a new landing zone at least. Acidic caves. So we're getting acid caves in 4.0. We're also getting better Vulcan overall. The economy is getting overhauled. Arena Commander is getting a new front end as long as it was a horde mode. We have the first mention of radar and scanning overhaul, including ADS scanning. Maelstrom was added to the main branch. And then AI, or the animation and art teams working on a bunch of new stuff, but like animations and stuff. The AI is adding a lot more detail, a new way that FPS AI is going to be grouped together, changes to kind of like dialing some things in terms of reactions, times, and such. And a lot of it is just preparing for 4.0. A lot of stuff is we need to get this working for server meshing and so on and so forth. So it's solid. I think this is we have a good idea, at least from this, because for those of you who don't know, generally speaking, if CIG is working on something, if you see it show up on, say, like a progress tracker or a monthly report, give it 6 to 9 months for its first implementation in game. It can always take longer because sometimes it's like R&D stuff, so that if it's an R&D stuff, it can take years. But if you start seeing the implementation of features in the game, it's typically at this point 6 to 9 months for it to be added. So if we're starting to see it now in June, this was in June, then they're likely shooting for both the first versions of Maelstrom and the first versions of scanning to be implemented at the end of this year. So knowing CIG, likely not going to make the end of this year, but probably Q1 of 2024, which does track with how they've had everything set up so far. And these are things we will see at CitizenCon. I think we'll hear a little bit about it before then, but I almost certainly will see the first demonstration of the new scanning system and further implementation of Maelstrom at CitizenCon itself. Plus, there's like 7 new ships coming out. There's a lot of cool stuff from this. It was pretty beefy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us live. Like I like to say, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the video, we do this live at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell icon to be notified when these release and when I go live. And lastly, I want to hear your thoughts. I want you to tell me, do you think I am just screaming hopium about this like landing zone thing? Do you think I'm right? Do you have even more crazy ideas? Let me know in the comments below. And like I always say, hope to see you someday in the black.